Hello and welcome to with me, Winter Entry, to another video of Weekly Entry, in which this week I guess I'm basically just going to be wrapping things up when it comes to the winter season's anime and everything, considering all of them have finished at this point, I'm pretty sure. So the only ones continuing, just got the ones continuing on, and then everything that's started this season already. So yeah, I guess starting off with the weakest Tamer began a journey to pick up trash. Not sure if there is a different name for that, but yeah, overall, it's kind of just a whole nice, wholesome anime, or at the very least, mostly wholesome when it comes to considering the whole beginning of the story is not exactly wholesome, considering the whole reason why Ivy's off on a journey in the first place. Yeah. But it's also technically an isekai, though it's a bit weird considering it's limited to basically just memories popping up into Ivy's head whenever they're somewhat relevant, I guess. It's weird. It's a very weird take on isekai that I just don't really understand why. But yeah, that's there, I guess. But overall, it's a good wholesome anime that's kind of a bit of a slice of life, I guess, well, with Ivy going on this whole journey and stuff. But yeah, moving on to the next thing, which is the wrong way to use healing magic, which I'm pretty sure we've already had that, and it's called Redo of Healer, but different things here. It's still, considering Redo of Healer was torture, this one's just fighting, so yeah. Though when it comes to the fighting, there's only really two battles, I guess, in this entire thing. One against the monster, and then one actual battle against the war with the demons. But, yeah. At the beginning, at the very least, it kind of felt like it was going to be another generic isekai, but it ended up being surprisingly good, to be honest. Which I think is mostly just down to the characters and the character dynamics between them and all that, so yeah. I think that's mostly what made the anime good overall. But, yeah. Don't have tons to say for it, to be honest. But I would really like to see another season for it, and I'm not exactly sure what the chances are of it getting another season, but from what I can tell with the way they ended this first season, I think it might be possible, considering it kind of seems like they're teasing stuff, but that just might be the marketing ploy to get you to buy the light novels or manga or whatever it is. But also might just be them be able to get another season if that stuff sells well enough. But yeah, still. Moving on, next thing, Mashle's second season, so yeah. Kind of more of the same, to be honest, as the first season. Not really tons to say here, besides the fact that the season kind of focused more on the story and had less comedy in it as a result, I guess. Though it still had a decent amount of comedy, of course, considering it's mostly a comedy anime. But overall, basically still same as first season, all that. But, yeah. Only other thing that's really kind of happened this entire season, to be honest, is just the introduction of the other divine visionaries, and I guess, and also first fight within a Zero. Eh. I'm not super invested in the whole thing, but yeah. Moving on to the next thing, Ragna Crimson, which, honestly, yeah, it's pretty good. And from what I can tell, this is basically just the first part of the story, though it may as well be its own story altogether, considering things. But yeah, considering Granga's whole mission is to kill all the dragons, and the fact that he's only killed one of the bloodlines so far, yeah. There's more and stuff, but I honestly don't think it's going to get another season, to be honest. But, yeah. Whole anime basically started with Rango wanting to protect Leo, who we basically don't actually get to see after the first three episodes, with an exception to a single, very short back shot towards the end of the anime right before the final battle. So, yeah. I'm pretty sure we are supposed to see more of her in, like, next arc or something in the story, if it does actually get another season. But, yeah. Don't really have a lot to say for any of the anime I got here, but yeah. A lot of death death happened in the second half of this anime. And only a few of those characters survived, to be honest. Yeah. Definitely not the kind of anime that keeps characters alive, except for important ones, I guess. Another thing with this anime is the fact that the name of the anime is literally just the names of the two main characters. And that's it. Just so simple. But it works, I guess. And yeah, moving to the next thing, solo leveling, which, yeah, I'm just going to start with the fact that this thing was absolutely massively overhyped. Yeah, to be honest, the only thing I can really tell that it really has going for it is the animation. It has good animation, I'll say that much. But other than that, it's just a pure power fantasy and nothing else. Which is honestly a bit of a shame, considering I kind of am actually interested in the world building and everything that's kind of has going on. So it's like every single fucking time it cuts away from song, I actually start paying more of attention because it's actual kind of story going on there and not just pure power fantasy that's going on with the main character. And of course, another season has already been announced for this, so yeah, guess I'll be watching that probably. But yeah, next thing, which is The Dangers in My Heart Season 2, which is, yeah, it's still good. And honestly, at this point, I'm pretty sure it is one of my favorite romance anime. So, yeah. And this season, I think, was better than the first. And just keeps on getting better. And still, I honestly kind of find it a bit weird how I honestly didn't really enjoy the anime all that much right at the start of the beginning or the darn thing. I have definitely grown to enjoy it a lot over the last these two seasons. So, yeah. And at this point in the story, we have already gotten the confessions and everything, so that's not. We don't have to wait any longer for that already. But, yeah. Honestly, of course, want to see another season of this, but I don't think it actually has enough source material for another season. I think. So yeah, we're going to have to wait a while for the possibility of a third season when it comes to this, so we can get more wholesomeness with this sort of romance. But yeah. So next is Shangri-La Frontier. Generally have no fucking idea how to say the first word there, but yeah. It is easily one of the basically like the best VR MMO game anime that I have seen in general, to be honest. So, yeah. At the very least for me, it feels like it actually genuinely captures what games are like for gamers. And the game itself here is basically just a VR MMO Souls game, from what I can tell. Which kind of is a bit weird, considering MMO part of it just kind of just makes it a bit different from a Souls game and everything, especially when you got bosses that can literally only be killed once. So, yeah. I don't think it would be impossible for the game to actually exist, besides the fact that I'm pretty sure in order for something like this to actually ever possibly exist, it would basically be impossible to actually develop unless you have an AI do it. Or you have an absolutely massive fucking development team that would be very hard to kind of manage and keep everyone on the same page for, darn thing. So, yeah. Very unlikely we'll ever see a game like this, but still. It also managed to do something I think is basically nearly impossible to actually do, which is actually make forging a weapon epic, kind of. Seriously? Honestly, what surprised me with that whole forging song it did and everything. But yeah, did something that's basically impossible there. And another thing, yeah, I think the staff behind this anime making it had a bit of fun with the fact that Sonoraku and Imiru's voice actors got married while this was airing, considering some of the apparently anime original scenes kind of seem to play that up a bit when it comes if you factor in that whole relationship between their voice actors. But overall, game aspect of it is good. Characters and the dynamics between them good as well. Even the comedy is too. So yeah. I'm also very happy that it has already gotten a second season announced, which is great. Which is apparently going to be another two consecutive core season that's going to be airing in fall 2024, which actually has me a bit concerned considering I kind of feel like that might be a bit too quick and I'm kind of worrying about the quality for it. But yeah, nothing I can really do about that. So just gotta hope for the best, I guess. Yeah. I could easily go on talking a lot more about things here that honestly don't really doesn't have much to do with the anime itself, but yeah. Moving on to the next thing before I start doing that. Sengoku Youko, which is apparently this is just the first part of two when it comes to the story. So this like 30 first 13 episodes of 37 total and we'll be getting the rest of that starting in summer. So, yeah, basically a one season break. And then I guess we get the rest of the story. But, yeah, don't have tons to say for this at all, to be honest. But the story is a bit interesting, at the very least. Especially with how the end of this arc ended. Considering, yeah, kind of threw me a caught me a bit off guard with some of the stuff there. But, of course, there are still parts of the story that are pretty fucking obvious. So, like the fact that I'm pretty damn sure we haven't seen the last of Shakiyaku. Yeah. But, yeah. Gotta wait 3 months for the rest of this, I guess, at this point. So, yeah. That's there is the end of this of the winter season's anime basically. So Spice and Wolf. To start things off for this season, I guess. Considering yeah. I just want to talk about it to be honest, considering it's my favorite anime. Finally getting a remake and everything. But yeah, more faithful to the light novels, for sure, with art style and everything here so far. Considering the fact that we got Yare actually doing with his whole role the beginning of the anime instead of Chloe, like the original anime adaptation did, which was a complete original thing that they did there for it. But yeah, we do still have Chloe with this remake, apparently, with though she's basically just a little background character at the beginning, basically. So a little nice little nod to the original adaptation, I guess, there. But yeah, really liking it so far, with just the first episode. Though I really did not expect to be seeing Gamiri at the beginning of the anime. So yeah, that was a nice surprise. And hopefully this will end up becoming a full adaptation of the story, so we can actually see more of Miri. Whether it's them adapting the Wolf and Parchment sequel or the Spring Law parts of the novels where Spice and Wolf itself basically becomes a side story to its sequel. Considering the whole story with this, you basically got Spice and Wolf, then the continuation of Spice and Wolf, which basically side story to its sequel. So, yeah. Really hope that story does eventually end up getting fully adapted with this, which, yeah, I'm hoping, really just hoping for that. Considering I really do want to see more of the whole thing adapted. But, yeah. Now there is all of that stuff done for this week, I guess. Though I guess I will mention all the leaks that have been happening over this last week. Yeah. How many have there been at this point? Seriously, I'm pretty sure basically nearly all of the leaks that have happened are from Crunchyroll. So, Crunchyroll, what the fuck is going on? Now, why have you not been able to get this dealt with yet? Seriously, I think there's been over 10 leaks or something at this point in total. And as of the day of this recording this, you got one anime that I'm not actually going to be watching that's already had its first two episodes leaked before the darn things even officially started airing. Yeah. Honestly, at this point, I'm just kind of just wondering how many more leaks there are going to be before Crunchyroll solves their little problem and the person leaking the stuff gets fired. Considering, yeah, it's honestly surprising that hasn't happened yet. But, yeah. Oh boy. One last thing I guess I have to mention for this week is War Thunder April Fool's event, which, yeah. I'm not exactly entirely sure what all to say for this, but I have definitely been enjoying it so far, considering it actually kind of got something to work towards with the whole unlocking things and everything going on for it. Though I kind of hit the point where it's kind of stopped being enjoyable at this point, considering at this point everything is literally just a massive grind for the rest of the stuff. Especially considering all the other vehicles you can unlock for the event requires rage tokens to actually use, so yeah. And you can only get rage tokens from killing players, and you gotta use those rage tokens to unlock things as well, so yeah. I kind of lost my enjoyment of the whole event, especially after the first day when people started actually camping. So yeah, first day, I really enjoyed the event, considering people were still learning things and everything. Then you get to the second day and you got people camping exits and shit already, so yeah, I kind of lost my enjoyment after the first day. Probably going to continue playing a bit more. Not sure if I'm actually going to try and make a video or not for it like I normally do, but possibly, I'm not exactly sure. But if I had to take a guess, I'm probably not going to do a video for this April Fool's event, most likely. But, yeah, I guess that's it for this episode. Since I really don't have anything else to talk about, since I honestly haven't really done not much else for this week. So, yeah, I guess there is the end. So, yeah, there is the end of this video. I hope you've all enjoyed it. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. And I'll see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.